Have you been dealing with lower back pain for a while and feel like you'd try anything at this point in order to find relief? Maybe people keep telling you to exercise or to move more, but everything seems to hurt. You try something new and then you end up paying for it later. As a physical therapist, I want to show you my top 10 favorite movements to help relieve not only back pain, but back stiffness. This is going to be a follow along routine that's going to hopefully leave you feeling better than when you started. Now, a caveat being some discomfort may be normal as you're moving through different movements. You don't want to push through significant pain. Listen to your body. It's one of the most important things to take away when you are dealing with pain. All you'll need for this is a firm chair that doesn't have wheels and some space along an empty wall. This workout's going to have two parts. This first part, we have 5 movements in a seated position. Then we're going to stand up and do 5 movements in a standing position. Each movement we're going to be doing for 12 repetitions, and don't worry, I will walk you through it. To start out, I'd like you to sit in a firm chair. Sit with your knees at about a 90-degree angle, feet firmly planted on the floor. I'd like you just to do a few shoulder rolls to allow your shoulders to relax. Take both hands, put them on top of each leg. This first movement is a seated cat-cow. Usually I will show you 2 repetitions and then we will start our 12. What you're going to do is round your spine back, and then you're going to come forward into an arch. So you're essentially exaggerating both of those positions. I'm going to sit back and round my spine and then come up. This is going to give some good blood flow to those discs and allow those muscles to contract and relax. We have 12, rounding and then arching is 1. Here we go. Go ahead and round your back as far as feels comfortable and then come up into that arch for 1. Make sure you breathe, round, and then arch forward 2. Arch forward 3. You can take an inhale as you round your spine. Exhale on the arch. There's 4. 5, 6. That's halfway. 7. Nice and slow. 8. 9. This is a great one to do if you're sitting a lot during the day. 10. Just 2 more here. Or in the car. This is a great one as well. Last one. Go ahead and round back and then arch forward. Excellent. Now what we're going to do, keep your legs in the exact same position. We're just going to do a very simple arm movement. How your shoulders move directly impacts how your spine takes stress throughout the day. All this movement is, you're going to reach out in front of you, palms facing each other. You're going to pull those elbows back and then reach out in front. One thing you do want to be aware of is your posture. You don't want to be in that arched forward position like we just did. You also don't want to be in that rounded position. You want to be somewhere right in the middle. That's why I like to start out with that one, so you can feel what that middle feels like. Now, if you're having a hard time, I don't know what posture I'm in, what you can do is you can round and then you can arch and then try to find a spot in the middle. We have 12 of these seated rows. Ready? Here we go. Pull those elbows back. You should have a nice space between your ears and your shoulders. Keep those shoulders down. There's 2. I'm just driving my elbows back towards the chair. 3, 4. Make sure you're going through that full range of motion of reaching those arms out. There's 5. Inhale as you take those arms out. Exhale on that row back. I'm going to warn you right now, I am not very good at counting, so sometimes we may do a few extra. We're going to call this 8, 9, 10, 11, and last one, 12. Excellent. Now for this next one, what we're going to do is a lateral reach over. Your legs are in the exact same position. Keep that 90-degree bend, feet firmly planted on the floor. I'm going to take my left hand and reach over into a nice side bend, stretching out the sides of your torso. And then I'm going to reach over with the right hand and do the same thing. Let yourself come over just as far as is comfortable for you. Now, if you can't reach overhead, that's okay. What you can do is just focus on bending over to the side without that arm reach. That arm reach is just bringing in a little bit more musculature to stretch. When you have back pain, a lot of times you find yourself moving in this glass box. You don't want to move in a wrong direction, so you tend to neglect different movements and avoid different movements. So what we want to do is stretch those muscles, release that tension. We have 12, that's 6 each side. Ready? Here we go. I'm starting by reaching over with the left for 1. Feet firmly planted on the floor and they stay there. 2. As you do more repetitions, you might find yourself gain a little bit more range of motion. 5. Again, nice and slow and controlled. 6. 7. Make sure you're breathing. And another cue just to relax those shoulders. A lot of times our body wants to tense up when you're in pain. We're going to call this 8, 9, 10, 11, and last one, 12. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add in a degree of rotation because your back can move in so many different ways, but we want to do it in a safe way. So what you're going to do is I'm going to take my left hand first. We're going to do 6 on this side and then we're going to switch to the other side. I'm going to reach down to the side with my left hand on my left side. Then I'm going to reach up and across. Reach down and reach up. Just getting a little bit of rotation in the back. Ready? Here we go. Reach across for 1. Again, if you can't reach all the way over across, just keep your arm low. 2, 3, that middle back can get really stiff. 4, if you have some trigger with rotation. 5, what you can do is just reach out in front of you to minimize that rotation. There's 6. Now we're gonna go on the right side. I'm gonna do the same thing, reach down to the right and then reach across. Reach down to the right and reach across. We have 6. Check in with your posture. Where are you at? Are you in this arch position? Are you starting to fall back? Make sure you're in that neutral zone. Ready? Here we go. And reach across for 1. And down. 2. I like to follow my hand with my eyes. 3. Get a little bit of neck rotation in there too. 4. 2 more. And last one. Excellent work. Now for this last movement, what we're going to do is add a knee kick with a punch. So it's an alternating kick and an alternating punch. Make sure you feel comfortable in this kick position before you add in the next movement. Make sure you're not allowing yourself to fall back. Stay up nice and tall. If you need to scoot further out to the edge, you can also do that. Now I'm going to take my arm and I'm going to go opposite arm, opposite leg. And you'll see next to us that you can add weights to this as well once we get going for an increased difficulty. If you're having a hard time kicking out, you can just tap your heel or slide your heel out. This is going to start to warm up the core. So I want you to really be aware of your posture on this one. I'm going to start punching with my right and kicking out with my left. 4-12 alternating. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Think of those core muscles. 5, keeping you nice and upright. 6, not allowing you to fall back. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and last one. Now we're going to be moving up into standing, but I like to take this as an opportunity to add in a few chair squats. So what I'd like you to do is do 5 chair squats. And what I mean by that is simply standing up and sitting down. Now, if 5 is not in the cards for you today, I'd like you to try at least 1 or 2 and see how it feels. Think about your knee position. Make sure your knees aren't caving in. Thigh, hip, and core strength are incredibly important when it comes to treating back pain and finding relief. You need to make sure your legs are strong as well. So let's go through 5 of these. Use your arms if you need to. We're going for quality over quantity. Ready? Here we go. 1, push through those feet. Sit down nice and controlled if you can, and you want to try not to bend forward, okay? You're pushing up just like this. Sit back down. There's 2. Do as many as you can. We're shooting for 5. Like I said, if you can't get there, that is okay for right now. Give yourself some grace. There's 3, 4, last one, and you're going to remain standing. Now in the standing position, we have 5 movements, again for 12 repetitions each. The first one, you're going to place both hands on the back of the chair and you're going to step back, just so you're reaching a bit. If this sets your back pain off, go ahead and take a step closer to the chair. The further away you are, the harder this will be. I will also show you a variation to make this more difficult by going to a lower surface. My arms are straight, my shoulders are relaxed away from my ears. If you find yourself in this arched forward position, what I'd like you to do is think about drawing that belly button in. Almost think about if you had a tail, you're going to tuck that tail underneath. See how my back position changes? What I want you to do is find that position. So I have a nice straight line through here. What you're going to do is you're just going to bring one leg up and then the other. We have 12 alternating. Think about your core, and we're controlled on this one. This is not about speed, it's about control. Lift that knee up with your core muscles. Everything else stays quiet. Tuck that tail underneath. Here we go. 1, 2, nice slow and controlled on the way up and on the way down. There's 3, 4. You can take those legs lower if you need to. You can even just simply tap forward. There's 6, 7, 8. Arms are straight, shoulders away from the ears. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now the next one we're going to do is a standing bicycle. So I'm going to also show you a variation to make this harder by adding some weight. But what you're going to do is take your feet perhaps a little wider than shoulder width. I'm going to bring my elbows up into a goal post position just like this. Now to make it easier on the arms, you can drop those elbows. But what you're going to do is bring one knee closer to one elbow. Now if you do need support for this, it will look like this. You will do 6 on one side and then 6 on the other. We're doing 12 alternating, or you're doing 6 on each side. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, you want to be aware of your positioning for posture. 3, are your shoulders hiked up? Relax those down. Is your back arched forward? Tuck that tail slightly. 5, 6. Don't hold your breath. 7, 8. Nice, slow and controlled. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now for this next movement, we're combining 2 movements, an upper body and a lower body movement. This is going to help really work your core and your coordination, which is extremely important for back pain. Now, the leg movement, make sure you can do each movement separately before you combine them. The leg movement is a heel lift, meaning I am lifting my heel so it can come close to my bottom. Bringing it up as close as you can get it. Now what this is doing is stretching the fronts of your legs, but also working the backs of your legs. Very important to help support the spine and the hips. Now, the arm movement is similar to what we did in the beginning, the seated row, but this time palms are facing down towards the floor and I'm driving my elbows back. Now, when you combine these, what you're going to do is pull both arms back as you lift one heel and then the other. I'm shifting my weight, but you want to check in with your posture. As you're doing this, are you keeping your torso nice and quiet, just like this? Notice my back isn't moving. A common mistake people make is they arch their back as you pull that leg. Now, if you do need support, what you can do, take same arm, same leg, and alternate. Do not be afraid to use support. It is not a sign of weakness. We're going for quality for this. 12 repetitions. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep those shoulders down. 8, don't hunch them up. 9, 10, 2 more. 11, and 12. Excellent work. We have 2 movements left. Now these movements are going to be at the wall. What you're going to do is do a wall push-up. You're going to stand at the wall, arms are at about shoulder height, potentially a little bit lower. I'm going to stand straight up and then take one small step back. So you're in a very slight incline. What I'm going to do is bend my elbows, bring my forehead or my nose closer to the wall, keeping my elbows in close, not letting them flare out, and then pushing away. Come towards the wall and push away. One thing to be mindful here, don't let yourself sag trying to touch your chest to the wall. Your body is a rigid board, and I want it to stay that way as you come close to the wall and back up. Remember, that tail, tuck it slightly underneath. That's going to turn the hips, keep your body in a good position. I'd like you to be able to get full range of motion. So if you're too far away and you're just doing a small bend like this, you're not going to get the most out of this. Here we go. 1, 2, breathe. Inhale on the way down. Exhale on the way out. 3, 4, 5, 6. If you need to move closer, you can. 7. Body's a nice board. 8. Keep that tail tucked underneath. 9. 10. We have 2 more. And last one. Last but not least, this is one of my all-time favorite movements for people who are dealing with back pain. What you're going to do is take that blank wall you were just using, except now we're going to turn around so you're facing out, away from the wall. You're going to bring your heels as close as you can to the edge of the wall. Allow your bottom to touch the wall, and then take just a very small step forward. What you're going to do now is think about turning your hips back towards the wall. So now my lower back, my middle back are in contact with the wall. There is no space or no arch where you could slide a hand behind your back. From here, what we're going to do is bring one arm up and then the other. The higher you raise your arm, the harder this will be. Lower back stays on the wall the entire time. If you're doing this and you notice that arch is coming, take it down, lower your arm so don't go up as high. You need to be able to maintain this position. We have 12 alternating. Ready? Here we go. Don't hold your breath. 1, 2, 3. Don't let that back arch away. push with your feet. 4, 5. Notice I have my thumb up. This helps to keep a good position for the shoulder. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, last one, 12. You have made it through this workout. Go ahead and leave a comment down below, letting me know how you feel and which movement was your favorite. I know that working out with pain, exercising when you're dealing with pain is not easy, but you did it and you showed up today. I hope this is your very first step towards your journey to pain relief and your ability to unlock your own arthritis adventure. Share this with anyone else who is dealing with back pain in your life so they can get out and adventure with you. Thanks for watching, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video.